obviously that Lorena-Franklin rematch kind of sets up as one of the most enticing games of any classification in the state this week. So you always hear the cliche that it's hard to beat a team twice. What does Lorena have to do to make it happen? Chad?
Well, I mean, I covered the game that they won on the last second field goal, and they won the second half of that game 31-14.
Right.
Hmm? Yeah.
Convincingly, yeah.
And yeah, I mean, and just beat them up and down the field, which is something I said last week too, I think. I mean, they just absolutely pounded them. And I don't think it's like, I think in a way, Franklin beat them in the first half and couldn't beat them in the second half. And Lorena has to go into this game with a lot of confidence because of that. Now, I feel like there's so many schools out there, and so many times you see a game like this, and in the aftermath, something happens, and you go, oh, well, so-and-so didn't have this player and that player for that first game, and that made a big difference, and blah, blah, blah. And it's hard to know, up and down Franklin's roster, who they had or didn't have for that game. So maybe there will be a factor like that comes in. But, to me, if you just look at the way that other game went, the way the Lorena season has gone since then, man, I mean, it's Lorena feels like the team to beat in 3A Division I right now, even with Malakoff and Winsboro out there.
So, DJ, you are covering this game, and should be a fun one. What's Lorena's path to victory here?
I think they have to be as close to perfect as they can be, because you can't make mistakes against a team like Franklin that you've already beat by, as close as that game was, and even though they took off in the second half, they have to be perfect from start to finish in order to beat Franklin this week.
Now, okay, I see what you're saying, and that's how I felt about their game last week as well. But when they played at Franklin in October, that was October, right?
Wow.
It was game 5 of the Astros Rangers series, right?
Oh, shut up.
Shut up.
Which the Astros won.
Oh, okay.
Astros won that one.
I've blanked the whole series out of my mind now.
But Lorena turned the ball over 3 times in that game. They threw 2 picks and lost a fumble. And so, but at the same time, they gained 560 yards of offense.
But can they count on doing that again? I mean, I do agree with DJ that you can't go into this game thinking, oh, we can turn it over 3 times and still win.
No, I think that's true. But I mean, I think you take some comfort from the fact that you didn't play a perfect game and still won the game on their home field.
Yeah, and what I mean is, like, there's no such thing as perfect football, right? And like we saw it the entire season. Like, we were just talking about Marlin and how they kind of hurt themselves, not just during the playoffs, but during the season. They played some really tough opponents and games that they could have beat them by a lot more than they did. And really, it was just because of little mistakes and things that they did to hurt themselves.
Right. And I was saying the same thing when they were going to play Columbus last week, is that they've got to play as well as they're capable of playing. And then they beat Columbus 42-21. And so to me, that whole equation flips around, and it's Franklin that has to play as well as they can possibly play to beat Lorena.
Here's the thing I'll say. So in talking with the Chilton guys yesterday, and I'm bringing them into this narrative about Lorena and Franklin, I was like, what happened in that Granger deal? You guys lost the first one by a field goal, and the second one is just 45 to bagel. Are you kidding? And they were like, yeah, we took them too lightly. And we also did not take practice seriously that week. And lesson learned. And I think to their credit, they've taken practice seriously the rest of the way. And so what I say all that to say this: Franklin is going to be motivated. they're gonna want some revenge on Lorena. And so
I don't think it's gonna matter.
And you saw
but,
the two teams play. So I mean, I'm not dismissing your take, but I do tend to agree with DJ that Lorena can't go out and just fumble the ball around and and get another big deficit and have to climb back.
No, you're right. But I think without being too hyperbolic and too bandwagony, I think Lorena is Mike Tyson in its prime right now.
Interesting. They as Zach said on the After Dark, they're a fun team to watch right now. And DJ is getting a fun game to cover. Did you have any more thoughts you wanted to finish, DJ?
We all picked Lorena, by the way.
We did.
Yeah. No, I mean, I just think it's gonna be a good game for Texas football, no matter what the outcome is, and I get to be there.
Yeah, fun.
And hey, I planned it out so that we could all get to be there, and y'all.
Yes, I squashed it. And so yeah,